After 45 wild years drifting deeper into the black unknown, Voyager 1, our most distant, most isolated machine, just dropped something that blew everyone's mind. It didn't physically turn around, but the signal it sent back, that data hit different. Something was off. A weird loop, a strange echo, like it had bounced off something. A glitch? Nope. This felt like a cosmic red flag. The spacecraft's old-school systems even froze for a second, like they got spooked, and what followed wasn't some boring code error. It was like a quiet voice, a chill straight from the edge of space, whispering something scientists have been afraid to admit for years. Voyager 1 might have brushed past a barrier that ain't supposed to be there. And if that's true, it could mean one thing. Maybe we were never alone in this vast dark after all. So, what exactly did it run into out there? And why are top minds at NASA starting to side-eye the structure of space past the heliopause? Something's not adding up, and we're about to dig deep into the mystery. Back in 1977, two spacecraft launched with nothing but retro tech and bold dreams, Voyager 1 and 2. They were built for a quick 4-year trip. But instead, these bad boys became legends. While every other space machine has gone silent, busted, or disappeared, the Voyagers just kept on pushing through the void. Past Jupiter, past Saturn. Way beyond the last known edges of our solar system, Voyager 1 cruised into territory no human tech had ever reached, interstellar space. And get this, its entire memory, just 69 kilobytes. Its processor, weaker than a cheap calculator from the dollar store, and still, it pulled off moves like a cosmic gymnast, swinging through planets, using gravity like a launch pad, and sending home wild data on everything from magnetic storms to plasma waves. But time took its toll. One by one, the heaters were cut off, the cameras went dark, instruments were shut down. Each shutdown, a tiny funeral for another part of the mission. Yet Voyager 1 kept whispering back to Earth, until recently, when that whisper changed. For years, scientists swore by the heliopause, that invisible line where the sun's power fades out and the galaxy takes over. Voyager 1 crossed it in 2012, about 120 astronomical units away. But something weird happened. The particle density jumped, like we expected. But the magnetic field? It didn't shift direction like all the models said it would. That was a red flag. And when Voyager 2 crossed the same line a few years later, same eerie result. The direction of the magnetic field stayed locked. That shattered everything we thought we knew. As NASA tried to explain it away, something darker started creeping in. The interstellar medium. It's not acting right, not at all. It was thick where space should have been thin, calm where it was supposed to be straight-up chaos. But the most chilling part? The magnetic patterns looked too clean, too organized, like something out there was shaping it on purpose. Not some random cosmic mess, but a structure, intentional, controlled. Then boom. Early 2024, Voyager 1 hit us with a signal that shook the deep space network. This wasn't just static or random digital noise. This signal had a freaky pattern. The data stream came in corrupted, telemetry broken, codes looping, and systems resetting with no explanation. For weeks, NASA thought it was a memory failure. Made sense at first. But when they switched to backup systems, same creepy transmission, even from parts of Voyager that were never programmed to send that type of data. Engineers started calling it a reflection loop, a signal bouncing back from the void, twisted in ways Voyager couldn't do by itself. One analyst, off the record, said it was like shouting into a canyon that shouldn't exist and hearing your voice echo back, warped by someone else's breath. That sent chills down everyone's spine. Some still blamed a system breakdown, but others started asking the question nobody wanted to face. What if Voyager drifted into a zone where its signals were being bent, or even answered? So scientists went deep, scanning those glitched signals, stacking them against cosmic ray spikes, plasma wave shifts, and solar wind drops. And what they found? Terrifying. The signal interference lined up perfectly with a sudden burst in galactic cosmic ray particles, stuff that should have been blocked by the heliosphere, but instead came pouring in like it was being aimed straight at us. Then came the anomaly, a twist in the magnetic field, not a glitch, not background noise, a real kink in space, like Voyager 1 had pushed through some invisible barrier, and whatever was on the other side, it noticed. Some experts guessed it could be a dense pocket of interstellar plasma, but others, they started whispering about something way darker. Artificial shaping of the field, the kind of stuff that only existed in sci-fi theories before now. But here's the one fact that had every team in agreement. Our so-called laws of space just don't work past the heliopause. Everything Voyager used to send back was regular, boring, textbook data. Now, its transmissions feel off. Maybe not intelligent, but they got intent. And that tiny sliver of possibility, that's where the fear creeps in. 'Cause if this isn't just deep space, what the hell is it? After weeks of decoding madness, NASA dropped a heavily redacted statement about the Voyager 1 incident. All they admitted, partial signal recovery, but they said nothing about the strange repeating loops or the source of that corrupted telemetry. On the surface, radio silence, but behind locked doors, the Jet Propulsion Lab had already called in a secret task force. They brought in the big guns, AI experts, quantum physicists, and top-tier astrophysicists, and then it leaked. One insider claimed the signal had non-random oscillation patterns, frequencies way beyond what Voyager's old system should ever be putting out. Translation: something out there was either twisting the signal or answering it. What made this even creepier? The timing. Those signal distortions kicked off right after Voyager passed through a sudden drop in cosmic radiation, something that should have had zero effect on the craft's internal systems. But what if something out there had shielded it, or worse, scanned it? With no clear answer on the signal mess, theoretical physicists started digging deep into Voyager's flight path and environmental data. And what they uncovered, straight up disturbing. The spacecraft's path showed tiny, consistent shifts, movements that can't be explained by gravity from any known planet or star. Some blamed dark matter. Others guessed gravitational lensing from an unidentified object. But then came a theory buried in a little-known private research paper, and it was next-level strange. The paper didn't mention black holes or wormholes. It proposed that Voyager 1 had crossed into something new, a distortion in space-time itself, a boundary in the actual fabric of the universe, where the rules don't just bend, they break. In this zone, information might loop, matter could react in ways we've never seen. Time, it might twist, freeze, or ripple. And if that theory holds up, then Voyager didn't just fly far. It stepped into a whole new level of reality, a region where motion, light, and energy don't behave like they do in our universe. And something else could be calling the shots under an entirely different playbook. What made this whole thing even more chilling? Voyager 2 started acting up too. Even though it was millions of miles away, both spacecraft suddenly began showing synchronized anomalies, glitches in signal timing, weird jumps in radiation levels, and changes in the magnetic field, all happening at the same time on both probes. That should have been impossible. The odds of two separate spacecraft hitting the exact same disturbances in totally different parts of space, basically zero, unless they weren't in different zones after all. Unless something was surrounding both of them. A structure, huge, invisible, and completely outside our instrument's range, touching Voyager 1 and 2 at the same time. That theory set off a storm of speculation. What if the Voyagers hadn't just drifted into a random patch of deep space, but had crossed a boundary, a perimeter? And if there's a perimeter, then yeah, there might be a center, and whatever's at the center, it might have heard the knock. As fresh data poured in, the tone behind the scenes started to shift, not just in the numbers, but in the way people talked. Scientists who once laughed off talk of intelligence out there, now they were going real quiet. Engineers who had watched over these spacecraft for decades started saying this didn't feel mechanical anymore. It felt responsive, and that's when it got real. In closed-door chats and whisper networks, a dark theory started to take root. Something out there was reacting, and we might have just gotten its attention. Voyager 1 might have stumbled into something intelligent, but not in the way sci-fi movies show it. No flashing ships, no alien voices. This was something way deeper. The environment itself seemed shaped, almost engineered, like space had been rearranged by something so massive, so advanced, we can't even wrap our heads around it. Those strange signal reflections, the synchronized distortions between both Voyagers, the twisted magnetic fields, they didn't look natural. They looked touched, at the very least, manipulated. And what if Voyager isn't just floating aimlessly anymore? What if it's part of something now, like a piece of someone else's long game? Someone or something that's been waiting, watching, just counting down the years until we reached far enough to catch their eye. For 45 years, Voyager 1 drifted as our quiet ambassador to the stars, just a lonely gold-plated fragment of human hope, full of music, voices, and dreams we flung into the unknown. We prayed that maybe someday something would hear it, but we never thought anything would answer. Not like this, because Voyager didn't just hit the edge of space, it punched through something ancient, something bizarre, and maybe something alive. A place where time bends, physics glitches, and signals bounce back. Not empty, not random, a part of the cosmos that watches back. And when Voyager cried out with that twisted looping signal, that wasn't a malfunction. That was the answer. The kind of message that doesn't need words. The kind that says loud and clear, "We see you now." Sure, scientists can argue over the anomaly's nature. They can run models, study patterns, redact reports, and play it safe for the public. But there's one truth they can't erase. Voyager showed us something we were never ready to admit. That the edge of our solar system might not be the edge at all. And if that's true, then what else have we been wrong about? What else is out there, just beyond our reach, watching us crawl toward it like ants on the edge of a glass jar? Maybe Voyager didn't discover something new. Maybe it woke something old. Now every blip in deep space, every echo across the void, carries a new weight. Scientists aren't just studying data anymore. They're looking for intent, for purpose, for signs that we're not the only ones mapping the stars, but the stars are mapping us back. And the question nobody wants to say out loud, what happens next? Voyager was never built for contact. It was built to observe, to listen, to drift. But now it's transmitting like it's part of something, like it's been tagged. And if we've been noticed, are we ready for what comes with that? Because signals go both ways, and once a response is sent, there's no taking it back, no hiding, no silence. Voyager might have just crossed a line that humanity can't uncross, and whatever's out there, it might already be on its way. For now, all we have is silence. No follow-up signal, no answers, just that distorted loop echoing like a warning across the stars. Inside NASA, the mood has shifted. Behind closed doors, meetings go late. Eyes are tired, voices are low. Some want to shut it all down, stop listening, cut the feed. But others, they say it's too late for that. The moment Voyager crossed that unseen line, something changed. The universe isn't just bigger than we thought, it's stranger. And somewhere out there, something might be waiting, or already watching. Some believe this is just the beginning, that Voyager triggered a chain reaction, a silent countdown we can't hear. Not yet. What if every signal we've ever sent, the greetings, the coordinates, the music, wasn't just drifting harmlessly into the void? What if they were stacking up like messages on a doorstep, and now someone's finally opened the door? The scariest part? We don't know what they heard, or how they'll respond. Voyager reached the unknown, but the real question is, what's about to reach us? Maybe it wasn't just a signal. Maybe it was a door, and someone or something just cracked it open. If this made your skin crawl, if it made the universe feel smaller, darker, and way less empty than you thought, don't let this story fade into static. Hit that like button, smash subscribe, turn on notifications, because Voyager 1 might not be done talking, and we're listening. Share this video with someone who still thinks deep space is quiet. Drop a comment below. Did Voyager find something? Or did something find Voyager? See you on the next one. Stay curious and stay watching.